Hello, Rani aka Mac, and welcome. With the release of the Banu Defender, they had a subscriber town hall on Wednesday which covered the sort of Banu and alien cultures, but a bit more of their intricacies as a race rather than just what we already know. First question is to do with the Banu Defender's visibility, and they say it's not a final replica of the ship, it's just the look and the feel. They do have a solution ready to go and they will add that once production begins. Question after that is whether the Banu trade with the Vandal, which I think is a very good question. And also, does this mean that we can occasionally run into non-hostile Vandal? And they kind of said maybe, but it may be a case that they'll attack you on sight. So there's a potential that they may behave differently at Banu trading posts, or maybe the Banu will head to Vandal space to trade with them instead, who knows. But anyway, following on from that question, the next question was to do with buying Vandal goods from Banu merchantmen, whether we can or not. And they do say that they expect so, because they need to sell their stuff or trade, the Vandal need to trade their stuff for things that they buy from the Vandal. They say that the Banu trading posts will be bustling with all different alien races, so we may potentially be able to get some Vandal items, like maybe a Vandal sword or weapon, and I think it'll be great to collect these Vandal items and just display them in your hangar as sort of mementos. So next question is to do with the stats of the Banu Defender, and they say although the stats are being redefined on the website, the release stats are not 100%. So technically it has 1 size 2 shield, 2 size 1 power plants. The weapons they have are 4 size 2 tachyon cannons, which are on gimbal mount, plus 2 size 3 missile racks with 4 size 2 missiles. Now they say that these tachyon weapons for the Defender, they've got new visual effects, new projectiles which perform completely differently. They're a super long range, plus a very high speed, so it's ideal for engaging at long ranges. They say that the speed or the velocity is above light speed, which is good to know. Anyway, the next question is referring to the components. Now the Banu Defender has a Taveran shield and Jan thrusters, which is a bit of a mishmash. But the reason for this is that the Banu likes things that work the best, so I will cover this in another video regarding the Banu later on, but the Banu just like the good stuff. So they take the Jan thrusters, which are better than their own, they take the Taveran shields, which are better than their own, and then they absorb them into their own craftsmanship. Banu ships will run and use the best of the best in most cases, but obviously you will see variations of this throughout. Now the next question is whether the Banu dislike humans, and there will definitely be Banu who don't like the humans, there'll be Banu that don't like the Jan, you know, it's not going to be a given that everyone will just get on with everyone. They will show their own personality. In terms of the language, there is no language yet. They're still working on the Jan and the Vandal language. They will likely be proficient in the human language, our language, although they'll likely have some unusual accent maybe, but generally they're fluent. So the next question is regarding the metrics between human and aliens. Now the Banu are a little taller, but they say that they're not too tall compared to human proportions. There's a little difference, but the Defender uses similar controls to the humans because that's what the Banu use. But just like the Vandal ships we see, the Defenders are specifically designed for humans. They're made by the Banu rather than like the Vandal Glaive. These are made by the Banu but for humans to use. You will likely see wild Defenders, if you like, roaming around, but the Banus have manufacturing guilds, and one of these guilds will have designed them for the humans themselves. Now in terms of a Senate for the Banu, they say all the Banu planets were independently operated, and if a situation arose needing everyone's, the head of states to gather, or the planets' heads to gather, they'll have a gathering and then discuss things, whether they need to employ military work or whatever. Now this is a good question. In terms of the merchantman, the Banu merchantman, we saw that the concept art showed that it was super huge, a lot bigger than we expected. And they did say it is getting significantly larger, but it's not going to be as large as the concept image shows. So they're not sure precisely. He says think more on the size of the Polaris than what we actually... It's not going to be the size of a Javelin, so don't worry about that. Now when it comes to finding parts and sourcing components for your Banu ships, they did say that human items will fit Banu components, with the potential of some parts, like the more unusual components, you may need to venture further to find these parts, but they're not going to be a case of you can never find them unless you go into Banu space, so you'll be able to keep your ships in top shape. Next question is whether the Banu procreate, and they say they've not really worked it out yet. They don't have families. Apparently when they have a child, they sell that to the evaluation facility, and then the state raises them, and based on their performances throughout their schooling, they will be given a specific role and then sold to a particular guild for that career role, so as a trader or as a pilot, for example. So next question is, will the Defender be able to dock or land with the merchantman? And they say they want it to, but again, it all comes down to when they actually start building it. There are no guarantees, it's just a matter of whether it's small enough to fit. So how will the Banu military rank compared to other races is the next question. And they say they can hold their own. They have defences and military guilds, but large-scale wars they will not really compare too well to anyone, really. They're good in small skirmishes, but not good at coordinating in large-scale battles like, say, the Tavaran. Next question is, can they breathe other atmospheres? And they say that their survivability is higher than humans. Some atmospheres, it does say on the star map, are dangerous to humans, but not to the Banu. Now, if these are on Banu planets, then they have built sort of areas or locations for humans to visit and trade so that they're not suffering too much. What role will the Defender play is the next question, and it is an offensive ship suited to a hit-and-run type tactic to protect the Banu merchantman. It is very nimble. Can the Banu Defender be used as a racing ship? And they say it can put up a good fight with the stock sort of thrusters and maneuverability, but it won't have the true racer maneuverability like we see in the M50 or the other ones. But modifying it, obviously, when time comes to be able to do this, will give it better time, so keep that in mind. Next question is to do with the Banu planet-side locations. Now, we did see some concept art, and it was more of a question of whether we can actually visit these places, and yes, Banu planets will be visitable. Will ballistic weapons shred the Banu to pieces? Because obviously it said that the armor for the Banu are not very strong, but the advantage is in the shields. The Tavaran shields are very, very strong, so getting through them is your first task, and that's what you need to focus on first. And final question, can you add an EMP weapon to the Defender? And they say they did consider EMP missiles as a standard, so this may come as a stock weapon later on, but for now they're sticking with what they got. Anyway, that was a rundown of the subscriber town hall. Let me know your thoughts. Remember, courtesy of my patrons, I'm giving away a Star Citizen starter package. Commenting on any of my videos throughout the course of April and being a subscriber to the channel will enter you for the draw, which I shall draw at the end of the month, after which I'll start a new giveaway. Tweeting, sharing and following me on other platforms found below won't better your chances, but it would be super awesome of you.